Okay, sometimes you have problems where you have more than two factors. So here you still follow the same rules. And since we are multiplying, we're gonna go ahead and work left to right. The key thing to remember is some people maybe can multiply certain numbers a little bit easier in their head. Since it is all multiplying, it really doesn't matter what order we multiply them in. So if we wanted to work left to right, we could. But in multiplying, 1 times 2 times 3 is going to give me 6, just as the same as if I had done the 2 times 3 times 1, I would still get 6. So in multiplication, I can go ahead and change the order as long as it's all multiplying. Okay, so if I go through and I work through this, I can either work left to right or I can chunk, and I'll kind of prove to you that on this one. So the first thing I always do is I like to count my negative signs, because that's probably the easiest process to me. So if I go through, I've got 2, I know my answer is going to be a positive answer, so I'm just going to put a plus sign so I don't forget that I've already done that step. Now, if I go through and I do this, 7 times 9 is 63, times 10, I'm just going to add a 0 to the end. So we would get 630. Okay, I would have gotten the same answer had I gone through and multiplied maybe these two together first. There I would get 90, and then if I did 90 times 7, well, 7 times 9 is 63, add the 0. I would still end up at the positive 630. So just remember, as long as it's all multiplying, you can rearrange the order if it's easier for you to do in your head. Okay, so let's try another one. Okay, I happen to use the same digits here, so we know we're going to end up with that same digit. The only thing that's going to change is possibly the symbols on our answer. So when I count that, I have 1, 2, 3 negative signs. My answer is going to be negative. And then thinking back to the previous one, we got 630 because it was still 7, 9, and 10 as our digits. So we ended up with negative 630. Okay, why don't you go ahead and try these two. Go ahead and pause the video to give yourself a little bit of time to go ahead and finish this. Here, you should have ended up on the first one with a positive, because we had 2 negatives, 140. And on the second one, you should have ended up with, let's see, how many negative signs? There's 2, so we should have ended up with a positive 105. Okay, key thing is just understanding and training your brain to just count the negatives when you're doing multiplication.